Good afternoon. Ancient Warrior here. Let's talk about freeze-dried foods. We've talked about survival tabs, survival bars, MREs. Now let's talk about freeze-dried foods. What a lot of people don't realize about freeze-dried is that freeze-dried foods were originally designed for the military use in the late 1940s. It was based around the idea that we were going to have a quote-unquote space force. We were going to have rockets going off into space and all that. Thank God all of our wars have been right here on the planet. NASA acquired the technology to start using it for the astronauts. Freeze-dried requires one thing in particular, and that's water. Potable water. Now, let's talk about freeze-dried as part of your survival, as part of your preps. You know, my favorite shopping place is Big Lots. Matter of fact, I'm sitting out front of it right now. For $3.25, they're selling freeze-dried soups. You heard me. Freeze-dried soups. All you do is add water, 15 minutes, and it's ready to go. Boiling hot water in 15 minutes. And you can have a pot of soup for your family. And I'm bad about freeze-dried stuff anyway, because I like to keep freeze-dried meats, freeze-dried vegetables, air-dried vegetables. So you could add just about anything you want to it to beef it up. Now the bag I got says it's got 8 servings in it. So that means it's about 8 cups, because they're saying a serving is 1 cup. That's not much to keep you going, but if you add freeze-dried meat, maybe a little freeze-dried cabbage, or air-dried cabbage, and a few other things, that turns that 1 cup into a cup and a half, 2 cups. Folks, what we're talking about is cooking and making do with a little and turning it into a lot. Sometimes less is more. Now I know that Mountain House and Pantry and My Patriot Survival, My Patriot Supply, and all these companies, freeze-dried is, to a degree, very expensive. But with the expense comes the fact that freeze-dried is light. You can carry a 6-day supply of food for one person in a backpack. And it might weigh 2 pounds. Where the MRE I showed you earlier, by itself, one meal weighs 2 pounds. This is just a thought. Now, you folks in Europe, You guys have the availability to get MREs in your countries too. You just have to go to your military surplus stores. Or at least most of you are. With the changing laws in Europe right now, the craziness in the UK and the EU, eventually it's going to be against the law to stockpile food. I have a hunch you'll see that in Europe a lot quicker than you do before you will here in the U.S. But you want to consider freeze-dried foods, because you can go to stores like Big Lots. You can get one of my favorite winter meals, ramen noodles. A couple of packs of them with some beef broth heated up, or chicken broth, or vegetable broth heated up. Throw a little bit of meat in it. I'm a Spam fan. Throw a little Spam in it. You got a heck of a meal. And a very filling meal too. But the problem with stuff like that is, guys, it's high in carbohydrates, which produces insulin, which produces fat, which produces you waddling. So that means in the winter you got to stay a little more active than sitting in front of the TV watching game shows all winter long. That's about everything I can tell you, folks, about freeze-dried. Now, if you choose to go with freeze-dried, I highly suggest Mountain House, My Patriot Survival, My Patriot Supply, something Pantry. I see it at Walmart, and I've used them a couple of times. But these are meals, ladies and gentlemen, that you can eat with just, in the summertime, just get you a glass jar, put a glass jar on top of the dash of the car, and let the sun heat the water up. So that's all I can tell you today about that. I'm going to be trying to do a video, at least 3 videos a week, if not a video a day. We're going to be talking a lot about food, folks, because food, you want to control the masses, control the food. If the economy ever collapses, you want to be, as my friend Pastor Joe Fox says, you want to be out of here. You want to be out of her, my children. And he's talking about Babylon, the cities, because the craziness will go wild. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. Be blessed. And welcome back to Free America. Goodbye.